everybody, welcome back. So if you haven't guessed already, I am cosplaying Kelley from The Dark Knight Returns, one of my favorite Robins, and one of the most underappreciated Robins in my opinion, because Kelley is totally awesome, just saying. Also, I heard she's gonna be in Batman vs. Superman, and if she is, I'm gonna like freak the crap out, because holy crap. So in today's tutorial, I'm gonna teach you how to make Kelley goggles. They're really fun, they're really pretty easy, and they just make me so happy. I mean, look at them. And then you pair them with the orange hair, and you just feel like you're gonna go out and find some crime. Slice and dice. Slice and dice. So without further ado, we're gonna get right into the tutorial. Okay, first you have to make a pattern, and I'm using manila folders for my pattern because they are pre-folded and they will give you a perfectly symmetrical pattern. So just draw the shape of the goggles you want and cut them out. You'll notice here I have the little ear holder things, but you don't actually need to put those onto your pattern because those are going to be a separate piece. Next, draw your eye holes onto your goggles so you can see out of them because that is sort of important, you know? I couldn't find my X-Acto knife or a box cutter, so I ended up just using like a razor blade, which is not very safe, so don't do that. Find an X-Acto knife. But I used the eye hole I cut out first to make the pattern for this next eye hole, so it made it really easy and symmetrical, which is also important. So I ended up making about 3 patterns for my goggles until I found one that I really liked, and then I traced all of the pieces out onto craft foam. I cut 2 pieces for the main goggles and then 2 ear holder pieces. I just measured the side of the goggles and then brought them out into an ear shape. Next I took some Worbla and all my pieces and started cutting them out. So you're going to trace your pattern piece onto your Worbla, and don't butt it up right against the edge because you're going to add another centimeter of space around the pattern so you have room to fold the Worbla over the craft foam. Cut out your pattern, and then comes the hard part of cutting out the eye holes. So use a craft knife. It helps if you heat up the Worbla a little bit first because then it's a little more bendable and wants to work with you a little bit more. But after you have everything cut out, then lay your craft foam on top, heat gun it, and then start folding the Worbla over the edges of the craft foam. You want to make sure your Worbla is laying flat, but even if it's not, Worbla is really forgiving, so you can always just kind of heat it up and go over the bumpy edges. And give it a final once over with the heat gun to make sure that it is flat, and then you can move on to the ear holder pieces. I really need to figure out what those are called. I should just Google it. So you're going to do the exact same thing with the ear holder pieces that you did with the main piece. Just trace around it, then give yourself about a centimeter of space, cut it out, heat it up, fold it over, and you are just absolutely golden. Now to attach the ear holders to the main frame of the goggles. Worbla is awesome and it will stick to itself, so you just need to heat up both of them and then press them firmly together and they'll hold pretty well. But just to make it a little sturdier, I took a little strip of Worbla, heated it up, and then put it on the inside between the main frame of the goggles and the ear holders just to give it a little more support. Now you have to make the goggles fit your face, so take your heat gun, heat up the edges, and then put it onto your face and then press the ear holders and wait for them to cool. And sorry about the terrible camera quality right here. The purpose of having an HD camera is to shoot beautiful video, and I clearly did not do that here. Now you get to prime your Worbla. You do have to prime your Worbla because Worbla has kind of a rough texture and you want something smooth and shiny for your Kelley goggles. You have a couple of options for priming Worbla. I'm using wood glue because it is the cheapest option and the easiest option because you just put the wood glue on there, paint about 2 or 3 coats, and it gets really smooth and nice. So do about 2 to 3 coats on the main frame of the goggles and the ear holders. And that is definitely the longest part of the process. Now, I'm making the lenses. So the lenses are kind of fun. I made them out of a clear plastic folder I found at an office supply store. So just trace your pattern onto that. I spray painted my goggles purple. In some of the artist renditions, it looks like Kelley has black goggles, but I'm going for the one in the movie, and she very clearly has purple goggles. And that's about where my memory card ran out of memory, and I didn't notice it until I was finished making the goggles. So I'm just gonna walk you through a little bit more what I did. So to finish off the goggles, I glued the plastic piece to the goggles, and then remember that extra piece of craft foam? I glued it behind the plastic, just so it's not hard warbler hitting your face. Fun fact about these goggles, I can mostly see out of them. Don't drive in these. Use your brain. I did use Warbler in making my goggles. I don't think you necessarily have to use Warbler if you want to use just craft foam. I think craft foam would work just fine. It just wouldn't work so well for the ear handles. Have we established that I have no idea what parts of glasses are called? Because I don't. I'm going to have lots more videos coming up for Carrie Kelley, so if you're interested in seeing those, feel free to subscribe. If you have any questions, you can ask me on YouTube, or you can ask me on Twitter, Tumblr, or Instagram. All the links are in the description. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you have a really great week, and I will see you next time.